What if the reason you no longer feel hungry is not weakness, not aging, not stress, but a silent signal from deep within your body asking you to pay attention? Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that food no longer excites you, that flavors seem distant, that even your favorite meals feel unappealing. For many living with chronic kidney disease, this is not imagination but reality. Appetite loss and unintended weight changes are often misunderstood as minor inconveniences, yet they can be profound messages from the body. When the kidneys begin to lose their ability to filter waste efficiently, toxins slowly accumulate in the bloodstream. This buildup does not announce itself with dramatic alarms. Instead, it whispers through subtle changes in taste, digestion, and energy. Hunger signals that once arrived naturally may fade, replaced by nausea or a strange metallic taste. The body, designed with extraordinary intelligence, reacts to internal imbalance in quiet but powerful ways. In conversations inspired by Dr. Matthew R. Weir, it is often emphasized that understanding these early signs is not about fear, but awareness. The loss of appetite is not simply about eating less. It is about the body's internal chemistry shifting in response to stress placed upon the kidneys. When toxins remain in circulation longer than they should, they influence how the brain perceives hunger and how the stomach processes food. Over time, reduced intake can lead to unintended weight loss, muscle breakdown, and a decline in strength. Yet within this challenge lies a deeper truth. The human body is resilient when given support, knowledge, and timely care. Awareness transforms uncertainty into action. When you recognize that appetite loss may signal something deeper, you move from confusion to empowerment. Proper nutrition becomes more than routine. It becomes strategy. Each balanced meal becomes a form of defense. Each mindful choice a step towards stability. Many people delay addressing these subtle signs because they seem small, but small changes often precede significant outcomes. A slight decrease in appetite can quietly evolve into noticeable weakness. A few missed meals can gradually erode muscle mass. Energy that once felt steady can slowly diminish. The journey with CKD teaches patience and attentiveness. It calls for listening carefully to what the body is communicating. It challenges individuals to see nourishment not merely as pleasure, but as fuel for resilience. There is courage in acknowledging vulnerability. There is strength in seeking knowledge. And there is power in acting early. Appetite loss is not the end of vitality. It is a reminder that care must become intentional. When you choose to respond instead of ignore, you reclaim influence over your health journey. The path may feel uncertain, but uncertainty is often the beginning of deeper understanding. Every signal from the body carries meaning. Every change invites awareness. And every moment offers the opportunity to respond with wisdom rather than fear. But what if the greatest danger is not the loss of appetite itself, but the slow, almost invisible progression that follows when it is ignored? There is a quiet tension that builds when the body begins consuming its own reserves for survival. At first, the weight loss may appear subtle, even welcomed by some who misunderstand its cause. Clothes fit differently, the scale shows a lower number, and it may seem harmless. Yet beneath the surface, muscle tissue may be breaking down, strength may be declining, and the foundation of physical resilience may be weakening. Chronic kidney disease does not always move loudly. It advances with patience. The toxins that remain in the bloodstream can interfere not only with taste, but also with the body's delicate hormonal balance that regulates hunger and metabolism. Digestion may slow, nausea may increase, and food may feel like an obligation rather than nourishment. This is where awareness must deepen. The body begins to send stronger signals, though they still remain subtle enough to dismiss. Fatigue becomes more frequent. Recovery from simple tasks takes longer. The mirror reflects change, but the deeper shift is internal. In teachings inspired by Dr. Matthew R. Weir, there is a recurring emphasis on early nutritional intervention as a shield against decline. It is not merely about calories. It is about preserving muscle mass, maintaining protein balance, and supporting the body's ability to repair itself. However, here is where suspense quietly enters the story. What happens when appetite continues to fade despite effort? What happens when even carefully prepared meals feel overwhelming? This is the emotional crossroads many patients encounter. Frustration may grow. Doubt may surface. The question arises, is this the beginning of irreversible decline? Yet the truth is more complex and far more hopeful. The human body, even under strain, retains remarkable adaptability. With proper guidance, individualized dietary adjustments, and close medical monitoring, strength can be preserved. Nutritional strategies tailored to kidney function can help reduce toxin burden while still providing essential energy. Small, consistent improvements can interrupt the cycle of weakness. But this requires courage to act before crisis forces action. It requires understanding that waiting for dramatic symptoms can cost valuable time. The suspense lies in the realization that every day of inattention allows subtle damage to accumulate. Yet every day of mindful effort builds stability. The difference between decline and resilience often rests in seemingly small decisions repeated consistently. Hydration choices, protein balance, sodium awareness, and regular consultation with healthcare professionals form the quiet architecture of recovery. The body responds not to panic, but to consistency. There may be moments when progress feels invisible, when appetite remains unpredictable, and when motivation weakens. In those moments, it becomes essential to remember that preservation of strength is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is simply the decision to nourish yourself, even when desire is absent. Sometimes it is choosing discipline over discouragement. CKD challenges more than physical endurance. It tests emotional resilience. It asks whether you will surrender to uncertainty or lean into knowledge. The suspense begins to resolve when you recognize that you are not powerless. Appetite loss is a signal, not a sentence. Weight change is a warning, not a verdict. And within that understanding lies the possibility of stabilization, of renewed strength, and of reclaiming direction before the storm fully forms. And here is the turning point that many never see coming. The moment you decide that your condition will not define your destiny, but instead refine your discipline. Chronic kidney disease may influence appetite, weight, and energy, but it does not erase your capacity to act with intention. The body may struggle, yet the spirit remains capable of focus, learning, and adaptation. When appetite fades, you are invited to eat with purpose rather than impulse. When weight shifts unexpectedly, you are invited to measure progress not only on a scale, but in strength, endurance, and awareness. There is profound power in understanding that nutrition becomes a daily declaration of self-respect. Each carefully balanced meal is a commitment to preservation. Each consultation with a healthcare professional is an investment in longevity. Each effort to stay informed transforms fear into clarity. In reflections inspired by Dr. Matthew R. Weir, there is a consistent reminder that early and thoughtful management of kidney health changes the trajectory of outcomes. Knowledge is not abstract, it is protective. Discipline is not punishment, it is empowerment. The journey with CKD may at times feel isolating, especially when appetite disappears and food loses its comfort. Social gatherings may feel different. Favorite dishes may no longer taste the same, yet resilience is not built in comfort. It is built in adaptation. You begin to discover new ways to nourish yourself. You explore flavors that align with your body's needs. You learn that strength is preserved not by ignoring symptoms, but by responding intelligently. Weight stabilization becomes more than a number. It becomes evidence of strategic care. Muscle preservation becomes a symbol of consistency. Energy regained becomes proof that small actions compound into meaningful change. There will be days when progress feels slow. There may be moments when fatigue whispers that effort is pointless. But remember this: decline is not inevitable when awareness guides action. Appetite loss can be managed. Weight changes can be monitored. Nutritional strategies can be refined. A mindset can be strengthened. The body reflects what it receives repeatedly. When it receives mindful nourishment, structured care, and informed decision-making, it responds with improved stability. The path is not about perfection. It is about persistence. It is about recognizing that even in the presence of chronic illness, growth remains possible. You are not merely surviving. You are learning to live deliberately. You are transforming a challenge into a catalyst for deeper discipline and awareness. Let this be the message you carry forward. Your condition may demand adjustments, but it cannot extinguish your resolve. Your appetite may fluctuate, but your commitment can remain steady. Your weight may change, but your purpose can remain firm. Health is not always the absence of struggle. Sometimes it is the mastery of response. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.